Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic on the day before our fantastic new Sudoku series drops on Patreon. 8 puzzles called Interactions by the great Riff Clown, friend of the channel. And we're going to be doing a puzzle that Riff Clown jointly authored last year today. And it features some of the lines that will feature in that set of interactions. It's all about lines interacting, funnily enough, and it's extremely good. So do join us on Patreon if you haven't already. Get ready, tomorrow 4 p.m. our time, that will pop up and you can have a go at it, and it's going to be very good. The solution videos to last month's Patreon hunts are up, and you can check those out on Patreon as well if you're a $3 a month Patreon. And there's always other good stuff on Patreon as well. So we've also got all of our apps, which include Line Sudoku, plenty of German whispers in that, and all sorts of other lines as well. And that is one of our favorites. It's the newest. It's being updated regularly at the moment. We've got, of course, our merchandise, Sven's SUDOKU PAD, and links to the books and things. Check it all out on the stuff on the description field under the video. But the first link is to this puzzle. I think it actually got sent to us a long time ago. Somehow it didn't get done last year, but this is Barely a Whisper by Eclectic Hoosier and Riff Clown, and both have featured on the channel a number of times. Never together, as far as I know. But the rules, now there is a very important rule here that matters a lot and isn't obvious from the grid, which doesn't, to me, look like it's full enough of clues to solve a unique puzzle, and that is because there is an extra rule. So the rules are, normal Sudoku rules apply, 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. Orthogonally adjacent digits cannot be consecutive. This is a non-consecutive puzzle. You can't have 1 next to 2 or 6 next to 5, either vertically or horizontally in this puzzle. Now, adjacent digits along a green German whisper line must differ by at least 5. So you could put 1 and 6 in here, or 4 and 9, or 1 and 8, but not 3 and 7. And a clue outside the grid gives the sum of the indicated diagonals. So those 3 cells add up to 17, those 2 to 14. Give it a try on the first link. I am going to start now. Let's get cracking. And this puzzle gives me an opportunity to start with what I know about German whispers. The first thing to know is you can never put a 5 on a German whisper line because its neighbouring digit couldn't be 5 away from it. That also makes 4 and 6 difficult to put on the line because they only have one possible neighbour. So they can't have 2 neighbours that see each other. And then finally, because 5 can't be on the line, every digit is either higher or lower. And to maintain the difference rule, they're going to alternate. So we can write 5 in the top row because all of those cells have some green in them. We can say that these 4 are the same polarity, by which I mean either high or low. Now, we don't know which yet, but they must alternate along that line. That's using up all 4 of that polarity for the row, so that goes green. We must always alternate polarity along German whisper lines, so this one is purple. I will now, well, I want to try and attribute purple and green to high and low, and then I'll change them to blue and orange, which is what we would normally use. That is a high and a low digit in a 17 sum. That feels like it's intentional. Okay. Right, I said that 4 and 6 can't have neighbours that see each other. None of those digits can be 4 or 6. And that means, where is the green version of 4 or 6 in this row? We actually know. It's got to be here at the end. That must connect to a 1 or a 9 there. Now, is this or is this the 4 or 6? Don't know. This 14 sum is either 5, 9 or 8, 6 with the 5 in the corner. One of those 4 possibilities has been eliminated. There's 2 of each on this line. This square is an unusual German whisper shape. I don't think we know whether this has to be high or low. If that was... let's say this was a 4. Maybe it is difficult for it to be low. Not sure. 1 and 9 would be 10. That would be high then. That's about, 10 is about the average for one of each. Okay, but I don't know. Is there some reason I should know what these are? Maybe I need to imagine that that was low. If that was 4 and that was 9, these would be 1, 2, 3. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. If that was 4 and that was 9 and this was 6, no, that would be fine. If this was 6, we'd have a 1 there. 2 and 3 in these cells, and that would be 4. And if that was 6, we'd have a 1 there. I mean, all that's told me is that if this is low, it's 1, 2, or 3. Presumably, if it's high, it's 7, 8, or 9. I'm not sure how that's helping. Yes, the non-consecutive rule, I'd forgotten it. I'd managed to forget it in 4 minutes, just because you can't start with it. It's vital. One of the ends of this line is a 4 or 6. Well, it isn't there next to the 5 because of the non-consecutive rule. So it's there. That's now 1 or 9. This is now a 1 or 9 pair. And that is a definite 7 to make up the 17 sum. Well, 7 is high. It hasn't taught me which of these is high. But... ooh. Okay, I know where 8 is in this box. That's weird. 8 can't be next to 7. It's not in any of those marked cells. It can't be here because it would be touching both 1 and 9, and it's not allowed to touch 9. So 8 is here, and that's high, and I can actually do orange and blue around that whisper. This is 2 or 3. These are 2, 3, or 5. We can't put 5 here, again next to 4 or 6. Oh, it's very clever, this. 5 goes there. This is low. Yes, okay. That 2, 3 pair can't sit next to 1, and we've sorted out the polarity. So if this was a 1, one of these would be a 2, and that would be a non-consecutive problem. So that's a 9. Purple now is high. Green now is low. And that is a 4, and that's a 6, and that's a 1. Then we have 2 and 3 to come along the row. 7, 8, 9 in the column. German whispers by its own nature prevents any non-consecutive rule being broken. I am going to say that can't be a 7 because one of these is a 3 and 7 can't sit next to 3. So one end of that line is a 7, the other one isn't. He said fatuously. That's 2 or 3. This is not allowed to be 9, so 8 or 7. Now 7 here is possible because they could both be 2s being in different boxes. Right, what do we do next? Trying to remember the non-consecutive rule and how important it's going to be in this puzzle. 2 high and 2 low on there is going to use up all the lows. So these two are a high and a 5. This one can't be 6, 7 or 8. So it's either 9 or 5. we've got a high-low there, a high-low there, and a high-low here. 5 is definitely in one of those cells. If 4 was on this line, oh, that's lovely. Look, where's 4 in this box? It has 2 possibilities because it can't be in those cells by Sudoku. It could be in one of these 2 cells, in which case that's a 4-9 pair and that cell becomes 5. Alternatively, 4 is in one of those cells. And then 5 can't be in those cells as well, because it would be touching 4. So this is always a 5, and that isn't. And this isn't. This is high. That probably isn't that helpful. We've got... oh, 4 can't be next to 3. Oh, straightforward. Right, so that is an 8. That doesn't fix this cell. But now the high digit here can't be 7 or 8. Oh, it can't be 6 either. That's pretty. If it was 6, 6 couldn't sit here because it would be in between 2 1s that would have to see each other. But 6 also can't sit here because of being next to 5. So the high digit here is a 9. 6 can be down here next to 8. 2, 3, 8, 5. The other digit here is... well, the high digit on here is either 6 or 7. Yeah, okay, 4 in the box. Now it can't be in that pair because that would have to be 4, 9, and we've just used up 9. So 4 is in one of those cells, along with a high digit that isn't 9 or 8. This cell can't be 7 by consecutive or 6 by Sudoku, so it's 4. That's funny. This one is 6 or 7 and is high. That's low. Now, 2, no. 7, no. I feel like I should be able to do a bit more. We've got 1, 2, 5, and 7 to place in the column then. This one can't be a 5 for 2 reasons. This one can't be a 7 because of that cell next to it and the non-consecutive rule. 9 is on here. Could be with 3. 8 or 6 is the high digit here. If 6 is the high digit, 6 is there, 1 is there, 9 is there, and that won't work. We can't put 3 here because of being next to 4. So 6 cannot be the high digit down here, and it goes here. The high digit down here is an 8. Now, that can't be 3. 4, 2, 7, 5, 6, and 3 are all ruled out. So 1 or 9. An extreme digit of some sort. This non-consecutive rule is so weird the way it works. Oh, 6 is looking across to this pair, ruling out one of the possible pairings. 4, 2, 7, 5, 6, 1, 9, 3, and 8. This one could be, if this was a 1, 9 pair, what would that do here? That would make that definitely a 2, 7 pair. But that does seem to work. No, okay. The next question is, where do 6 and 7 as a pair go together in this box? Obviously, one of them is there. The other one seems to have to be here because it can't be next to the first one. So that's 7, that's 6. This is now 2 because it can't be 1 by Sudoku. So that's 3. This is a 1, 9 pair. This is an 8, 3 pair. These don't have a 7 in. Oh, 1 and 2 have to be chaperoned, separated by a 5, because they're not allowed to touch. I can't believe none of those is done by the rule. 4, 7 and 9 here. 4 can't sit next to 5. It looks like I can't sort the rest of these out, which rather surprises me. So I'm going to have to look across the grid. How is this going to help? It doesn't look like there's much to play with in the rest of the grid. There's a 5 in one of those cells. How do we get across the grid from here? This is weird. I don't know, this line doesn't look all that helpful to me. Is there something about the non-consecutive rule that I don't understand operating here? Oh, 5, no, 5's already in the top box. Yes, 5 in box 4 is in one of those cells because it mustn't be on the green, and that's ruled out by that. So 5 in this box is in one of those 2 cells. Now we get this 18, the 14 sum done with an 8 and a 6. Thanks to the pencil marking. Now the high digit here is not 8 or 6. In fact, that 8 is looking all the way up to the top. The high digit here is not 8 or 6. So it's 7 or 9. And it's not in this cell, therefore. In fact, once that's 6 and that's 8, this can't be high, so it must be low. So we can alternate high and low along that German whisper line. This is high, 7 or 9. This is low. This is low, but it's not 2. I suppose it could still be 4. This is 7, 8 or 9. I don't know, this doesn't feel all that helpful, this stuff. But I mean, it is at least deducible. Ah, that's a 7-9 pair. The high digit on this pair has to be 6. So that is a 6-1 pair. Now, that's not... if that's a 1, that's a 6, that's a 1. 7, 9, 1, 6, 8. So this is 2, 3 or 4. We've only got 2, 3, 4 or 5 to place. That's 3 or 4. 5 is in these cells, so 4 can't be. That's part of the rule, part of the non-consecutive rule. So these are from 2, 3, 5, and that one can't be 2. So that is 3 or 5. And now this can't be 4, which is weird. If that's 4, that's 9. Then we've got 3, 5, 2. Seems to be all right. Oh, this is such an odd puzzle. Now, if this was 5 here, that would have to be 1. Because it wouldn't be allowed to be 6 anymore. I don't know. It's not... It really isn't obvious to me what we're meant to be doing here. 3, 8, 5. We can't make that. 3, 8, 5 or 6 by Sudoku. It can't be 4 by German whispers. But it seems to me, well, it can't be 2 by German whispers either. So that is 1, 7 or 9. If that's a 1, that's a 6. Then we get 3, 5, 2... Oh, where's 4 in this box? That is a beautiful question, suddenly. It can't be there by Sudoku, and it can't be there because it would be next to 3 or 5. So 4 is here. I don't know if maybe that's not going to do anything. Is there another digit that can't? Yes, 6 is placeable in the box. Oh, there we go. And that sorts out the polarities. And that could do quite a lot. We've got a 2, 7, 9 triple here. 2 can't be next to 3. This mustn't be 5. That's important. This is now where 5 is. This is low. That's low. Should still do the colouring, really. I haven't done a lot of colouring for a while. Sorry. But let's keep it up to date with what we definitely know. Those are low. That's high. Okay. It probably doesn't matter. Actually, no, I'm going to forget the colouring from now on because we've kind of coloured the German whispers. The colouring doesn't really matter. Yeah. Change of tack. Let's remove all the colours. There we go. Right. Sorry about that. Now, come on. This line must do something. Or 1. We've got a 1 in one of those cells. We've got a 5 in one of those. 1, 6, 4. We've got a 4 and a 6 in that group. They're not a threat to touch each other though, so maybe that's not a problem. This is 3, 8, or 9. 2, 7, 9, 6, 4. These are from 1, 3, 5, 8. 6, 4. 1, 3, 5, 8, 6, 4. 2, 7, 9. Oh, that 1, sorry, that's made this a 3. That is really straightforward. That can't be a 7 on the whisper, and actually this can't be a 7, so that's a 9 now. That puts 7 at the top of the grid. Now that can't be a 7. This is where, this has to be a 2. That has to be a 3. It's just spotting the ramifications, isn't it? 9 is in one of those cells. 8 is in one of those two, not the same side as the 9. So 8 or 9 is in one of those cells, and that's a kind of triple with that one. And these have to be from 1, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 6. Actually, that's obvious just by Sudoku. Now, I want to say that can't be 6 or 7. I think that's right. It certainly can't be 6 because one of those is 5. If that was 7, I suppose 6 could be up there. Okay, that didn't quite work then. 5, 7, 2, 1, 8, 9, 3. Right. 3 can't be here or here because it would be touching 4. So 3 is in the middle of that segment. This is a 4 at the bottom. Now, what has that done? This can't be 3. That is a 7. One of these is definitely a 7. Does that mean that's not a 6? It doesn't mean that. Yes, it does. If that was a 6... Yes, this wouldn't be allowed to be a 7, but we still have to fit 5 and 7 into that cell. So this is not a 6. Oh, well, it's not a 6 because we've got a 6 there, you numpty man. That's a 2-3 pair. That's just Sudoku. Sorry, not what I was talking about at all. Anyway, these are from 6, 8, 9. 4 has to be fitted into this box, not next to 3. So that place is 9, that place is 8, that place is 6. We can almost finish these columns. Well, we finished boxes 1 and 4 anyway. Right, 1, 4, 7 triple there. 7 can't be next to 6. 4 can't be next to 3. 3, 8, 9, 1, 4, 7. 2, 5, 6 triple here, but 5 and 6 have to be split up by 2, which goes in the middle as the chaperone. 2 can't sit next to 1. 5 can't sit next to 4. I didn't spot that. 4 can't sit next to 5. And then this is what happens with non-consecutive puzzles. They do sort of fall apart very kindly. This is a 4, 6, 8 triple, which is actually not very constrained when they're all the same parity by the non-consecutive rule. This is a 1, 3, 5 triple, and you might say the same is true, but 2 can't sit next to 2 of those digits, so we get to fill them in. 9, 1. Now we know the polarity order there. That didn't sort out this side of the puzzle. That can't be 4 next to 3. Right, this central column, we need a chaperone for 6 and 5. The chaperone chosen is 8. 5, 5, that's a 5, and that isn't. 1 and 7 are resolved by the 8. I should have spotted that earlier. 1 resolves 2 and 1. 7 makes that a 9. Now we have 1 and 2 in the central part of box 8. 7 and 3 can be resolved because one of them can't be next to the 6. 4 and 9 in the same way with the 5. And there we go, 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner as we finish today's puzzle. There we go, 23 minutes. That is pretty approachable. Very nice, actually. Some things to spot there. And that 7-9 pair was one of the more interesting ones, actually. Very nice puzzle by Riff Clown and Eclectic Hoosier, and a pleasure to bring it to you. Do try Riff Clown's brilliant interactions tomorrow on Patreon. And bye for now. Ooh.